Folks, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. I don't want to say only. It is possible somebody else did it. But I think the only one that really came out this morning and said, hey, anybody hear anything about this little, like, HHS Secretary? Interesting. Bipartisan. All right, we're going to do a little bit of everything. The Dreamers, a 12-year, DACA, a 12-year to achieve their dream. We'll do something, President Trump. Everybody's, people can't take that the guy just talks. It don't matter who's there. He just talks, all right? So their nerves are shot all the time because this guy will say anything. The memo. Now, there is so much discussion on the memo. Now, did you get the memo? Let's play the video. Let's start.
Did you see the memo about this?
Did you get that memo?
Yeah, I got the memo.
Yeah. Didn't you get that memo?
Yes. I have the memo. And I'll go ahead and make sure you get another copy of that memo. Okay?
Yeah, no, I have the memo. I've got it. I've got it.
The memo. Now, here's what I want to say. Please take this out of my ear, Amanda. Here's what I want to say. Thank you. Here's what I want to say. This memo, which I have it here somewhere in my Comey, Rosenstein, Comey, Rosenstein, McCabe, Andrew McCabe are all named in the FISA memo that's out there. Okay? The GOP authored memo made waves last week after it made available, to a full House of Representatives for viewing, with over 60 GOP lawmakers calling for its release. Capitol Hill sources on both sides of the aisle tell the Daily Beast that it's only a matter of time before the general public is allowed to view the document, which is likely to stoke, which is likely to stoke already inflamed tensions between GOP lawmakers and individuals named in the leak. All right, the memo. Now, I just want to say one thing about the memo, not going too deep, because like I said, we have 2 hours a day, and after that, you have all day to do the research. And my hope is that I bring out some things that cause you to want to look at certain things a certain way. Now, that being said, the FBI, the Department of Justice, and so many are coming out and saying, but wait a minute, it would be reckless. Now think about this. This is all I want you to think. It would be reckless to release this memo. Reckless. It would be reckless to release classified information that may be in this memo before it's reviewed in the proper context by the Department of Justice, before it's reviewed by FBI. This could be reckless to release the memo. Bots, Russian bots, hashtag release the memo. I don't remember Democrats why this could hurt our democracy as we know it. I don't remember the left, the deep state, and Democrats as worried about how reckless the memo that James Comey rushed to, now we find out is his attorney, one of his attorneys, to his friend, a Columbia University professor, which sent it to the New York Times to be printed. I don't remember that being so reckless in that memo, the release through publication. I don't remember the Democrats all upset and in arms about the classified information that has been destroyed in a server, BleachBit, phones, that was transferred through Podesta, that was transferred through Uma Abedin to the Wiener's computer. I didn't see such a need of concern and how reckless it would be for that classified information to be out, the transfer. I didn't see any of that concern. But this memo, all of a sudden, there's great concern of releasing this. Now, do I feel classified information that we should have a protocol and systems in place that go through classified information, go through things, clear it up before it's released to the public? Not that the public doesn't have a right to know. I didn't say that. Yeah, I think there should be. But it's interesting, this overwhelming concern now to keep this memo in place. It just is. It catches me. It catches me. Now, they're claiming that Russian bots. Now, folks, I don't have time to go into Russian bots, but I understand them, okay? I understand the Russian bots and how it works, are using hashtag release the memo to get everybody worked up to want your representative or senator to release the memo. And I continue to hear every day about the bots and how the Russians manipulated results. The Russians try to manipulate results to change the outcome of an election with absolutely no proof. I'm serious. I'm just thinking all these things. I'm gathering it up every day. I know McCabe. I know Jill. Well, I've not met them. I know Terry McAuliffe is the same as Hillary Clinton, former governor. I know all that. We've done those stories. I know the fundraiser. I know, you know what? I know that, there's no way McCabe can be neutral when his wife spent, Jill McCabe, $1 million running for a state Democrat Senate seat. Back that up. Spent $1 million running for a Virginia state Senate seat as a Democrat with help from her friends over at the Terry McAuliffe Foundation. I know all that. I know Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, maybe they still are lovers, and that they sent text messages and they wanted an insurance policy while they were sitting in Andy McCabe's office, and then they said maybe this should be the first meeting of the secret society. I know all that. But I like to break down the left's direction. And this morning I just thought, you know, there's something wrong. There's the HHS Secretary in Obamacare. It's under the radar screen. They keep screaming about the memo and the Russian bots, okay? They keep talking about DACA and the Dreamers. And I hear all the time, Russia attempted to manipulate the results to change the outcome of an election. And I keep reading that sentence. Never does Joe Scarborough, never does anyone on the Democrat side say that the Democrats are trying to manipulate the results to change the outcome of elections by illegal voting. See, we don't have the illegal Russian voting. We don't have, or it would be top news, of the voting machines that we found. We went through the Secretary of State here in Georgia, Brian Kemp. Remember the big deal? The Russian attempt? The Russian attempt to change our elections. We did not have, you Google it, a state that says they found 75,000 votes where a machine was hacked. We don't have it. But we are spending as citizens, and we are indoctrinated on a daily basis with a narrative that the Russians, which, you know, I don't like the Ruskies. I'm not all about the Ruskies, all right? I watched Rocky. You know, I'm glad he beat the Russian. But we're all about Russian attempt to manipulate the results to change the outcome of an election. We never talk about the facts of the Democrats' attempt to change the outcome of the election by illegal voting. It's never talked about. I am absolutely amazed how the state of Virginia had two candidates and basically 30,000 votes, and each one of them got 15,000. Knowing good and well there's illegal voting that took place. The Dreamers, DACA, is Democrats' way of working right in your face, okay? Right in your face to manipulate the results to change the outcome of future elections. I just never understand why nothing is ever talked about where that is concerned, okay? Nothing at all. Now, the secret society. Put up a picture of Joe McCarthy. Anybody know Joseph McCarthy? Now, I'm going to have to tell you, he was before my time. Very few. But the media, the left, okay, because they do not want to. You got a picture of Lou Dobbs. Can you get that one real quick and then go back to Joseph McCarthy? Lou Dobbs at CNN Business. I'm sorry, Amanda, but if you can move over, I think I sent it to you if I did. Here's Lou Dobbs at CNN Business. Said it was time to wage war. The war was at hand with the deep state. We are there. Period. There's no turning back. There's no yesterday, day before yesterday. The war. The shot has been fired, not just yesterday, but over and over. So Lou Dobbs says we're at war. So the left, the deep state, now go back to Joe McCarthy, is making fun. And I didn't tell you this. Could you get me the picture from yesterday? If you can't, that's no problem, because I didn't tell you in advance, of Ron Johnson that we made, Senator Ron Johnson. But stay with Joe McCarthy for a minute, okay? Joe McCarthy, Senator Joseph Raymond McCarthy, A senator from where? Wisconsin. A senator from Wisconsin. When? From 1947 to 1953. Now, I want to play a short clip, okay? I've got a video there, and it says Joseph McCarthy on Democrats. You got that one? Just tell me when you got that ready. Go ahead and play that, Amanda. Joseph McCarthy on the Democrats. Play that clip.
I think we should keep in mind when we refer to Democrats, when we refer to the administration, that there are definitely two groups of Democrats as of today. Number one, there are the millions of loyal Americans who have voted the Democrat tickets. Individuals who are just as loyal, who hate communism just as much and love America just as much as the average Republican. That's one group. On the other hand, there is that small, closely knit group of administration Democrats who are now the complete prisoners and under the complete domination of the bureaucratic, communistic Frankenstein which they themselves have created. Ladies and gentlemen, they shouldn't be called that administration Democrat Party. To call them Democrats is an insult to the millions of loyal American Democrats. They shouldn't be called Democrats. They should be referred to properly as the Commie-Crap Party.
Okay, so there's Joseph McCarthy, Senator of Wisconsin, the Commie-Crap Party. The Commie-Crap Party. So, yesterday we played this clip, and I want to go to this one. Ron Johnson's Secret Society. Let me know when you have that up, okay? All right, let's play this yesterday. Another Wisconsin senator, fast forward, what, 50 years, whatever, 40 years? Go ahead, play that one.
What this is all about is further evidence of corruption, more than bias, but corruption at the highest levels of the FBI and that secret society. We have an informant that's talking about a group that were holding secret meetings off-site. There's so much smoke here. There's so much suspicion.
Let's stop there. A secret society, secret meetings off-site of the Justice Department.
Correct.
And you have an informant saying that.
Yes.
Is there anything more about that?
No, we have to dig into it. This is not a distraction. Again, this is bias, potentially corruption at the highest levels of the FBI that is now investigating. And now and by the way, Robert Mueller used to run the FBI. He is in no position to do an investigation over this kind of misconduct. So I think at this point in time, we probably should be looking at a special counsel to undertake this investigation. But Congress is going to have to continue to dig.
Okay, so the liberal left, that's Ron Johnson. Do you have that picture we made yesterday? If you do, will you put that up? If you don't, that's okay. All right, Ron Johnson, we made a picture yesterday. That wasn't it. There's the one where we did the Photoshop one, but that's okay. Anyhow, this is a senator from Wisconsin, Ron Johnson, all right? And they are making fun of him. Morning Joe, Minka, the left, all the media outlets, they're making fun of the senator for Wisconsin. Morning Joe even ran a Joseph McCarthy clip and said, oh my God, we thought we had the correct senator from Wisconsin. That's the wrong one. So they're making fun of Ron Johnson because he comes out and he says secret society. That's because Peter Strzok, Ron Johnson didn't say it in the text message. Peter Strzok says secret society, or Lisa Page, I think, is the one that says maybe we need to have the first meeting of the secret society. There are sources that say there were high-level meetings or meetings off campus between some people. He is claiming corruption at the highest levels of the FBI. Now, the media wants to make you think that the FBI is completely being torn down and denigrated by the right, the president. It's the highest levels, folks. There are so many very, very good, okay? So many very good field agents in the FBI today. So many, okay? But the highest levels, all right, we have not seen a politicized FBI, and we don't have time to do this today. We have not seen a politicized FBI since J. Edgar Hoover. And some of you out there understand what I'm talking about. This is the most politicized FBI since J. Edgar Hoover, deep state. Ron Johnson just reminded people that Mueller used to run the FBI. So yesterday there was the discussion of, would Trump talk to Mueller? Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it under oath. I don't care. I'll go do it under oath. Doesn't matter to me. All right? So, hey, Trump's headed over to Davos, do his America First speech. I'll talk to Mueller. Why not? Yeah. Put me under oath. Okay, we'll do it. Go ahead. But what? Now, wait a minute. This is the kind of thing, okay? And I don't have the entire clip, but this is the kind of thing that just frosts me with the media, all right? Let's play the clip where Trump says he doesn't recall asking McCabe. Tell me when you have that one ready, Amanda. Amanda's got it ready. What the heck? I mean, way to go. All right, let's roll this. This is only the audio. Now, supposedly, President Trump stops by John Kelly, Chief of Staff office. John Kelly's having what they call a press gaggle. They have a gaggle. It's called a press gaggle, where the press just runs in, asks a bunch of questions. And so Trump stops by and says, hey, ask me something. What does the media need to know? What is the most pressing? Because they don't have a there. Remember, that's what Strzok said in the text. I don't think there is a there. I don't remember exactly what it said. This is pressing because now the only thing they have is obstruction. Okay, so play that video for me.
Did you ask McCabe who he voted for? Did you ask him that?
I don't think so. No.
You don't think you
No,
did?
I don't think I did.
You don't?
You did not.
I don't know
it
what's the
possible
big
you
deal with
did?
that.
No, but I'm
Because
just
I would ask you who did you vote for? I don't think it's a big deal. But I don't remember that. I saw that this morning. I don't remember asking him that question.
Is it possible you did? Is it
I
a
don't remember
possibility?
asking him the question.
you think Robert Mueller
I think it's also a very unimportant question.
Okay.
But I don't remember asking him that question.
Okay, who did you vote for? Now, the top news yesterday, I mean, everything else going on in the world, the top news yesterday, and we're going to talk about DACA before we close. I know we have 10 minutes. Top news yesterday all over is he asked acting director of the FBI after Comey gets fired, who'd you vote for? That's the accusation being made against the President of the United States. He said, I don't think I did. I would ask you who you vote for. Hey, who'd you vote for, right? That's Donald Trump. Now, I don't have time to play the audio, but if you'll find yesterday's audio of this, Trump goes on to explain, hey, the guy comes in, his wife spent $1 million. Terry McAuliffe, you might as well be Hillary Clinton. Friends with them. She's running for Senate, Democrat. Yeah, who'd you vote for? I mean, I kind of like to know, what are you doing? If you listen to the whole details, Trump explains everything, just like we explained it here several times on several shows. Trump had if the President of the United States asked Andy McCabe who he voted for, one, I guess it's none of his business, right? That's the privacy that we love in this country. It's none of your business who I voted for. It's none of your business if I voted at all. It's none of your business what I do. We love that. That's the American way. But Trump had pretty good reason to look at Andy McCabe if he did say, hey, who did you vote for? But that was the big news yesterday. Who did you vote for? I don't want to end, don't take this wrong, I don't want to end on that note because there's so much more going on. Let me click, I got 8 minutes. I am I am very happy to say that I know all the stuff out there. Man, I wish I had a third hour. I wish I had a third hour. I mean, it just may be necessary here with state politics. We're going to have to think this out. But because we got to get to some state politics. But Trump is over at Davos, going to do his America First speech. You know, he's going to do America First speech. But I'm happy to say Barry Bonds is not going into the Hall of Fame. I'm telling you, folks, the steroid era of Bonds, McGuire, Sammy Sosa, the list goes on, and Clemens, Roger Clemens up there. I am very happy that Roger Clemens is not in the Hall of Fame. I am very happy this morning that Barry Bonds is not in the Hall of Fame. But I am so happy for a first ballot. Chipper Jones, run some of his pictures there. Chipper Jones, Atlanta Braves, first ballot. I think I sent you a couple of Chipper's pictures, just flipping through there. Is first ballot in the Hall of Fame. 2018 Baseball Hall of Fame class was announced Wednesday with Chipper Jones, Jim Thome, Vladimir Guerrero, and Trevor Hoffman taking their place in Cooperstown, New York. Good for you guys. Chipper Jones, top first round. First year on the ballot. Love it. First year on the ballot. So, congratulations to those guys. It was Vladimir Guerrero's second year on the ballot, and Thome's first eligible year on the ballot went in, so we want to give that. And Trevor Hoffman, third year on the ballot going in. But let's give a big shout out to Jim Thome and Chipper Jones, first year on the ballot. Let's give a big shout out for the continuing not letting Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens and Mark McGuire and these bums, they're bums to me, into the Hall of Fame. That being said, I believe Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame. I know, but I understand the arguments. But yes, I believe Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame. That's just my opinion. So let me see, is there anything new on the Twitter deck before we leave for Trump? No, there's nothing new on the Twitter deck. And the Dreamers. All right, let me say something before we close the show. We've got 5 minutes, and this is on immigration. And, you know, God knows, I always love to close the show with some sort of controversy that may bring you back tomorrow. I keep the Constitution right here. I mean, it's right here. It's always on this table. There's one in my bag and one on this table. And, you know, it's like holy water to a liberal. I mean, if you're out somewhere and you run into a liberal and they're going to the far left and they're out there, you pull out the Constitution and they start melting and they get all nervous and everything like that. But, okay, they're here. Now, what was that movie? Now, Amanda, you're way too young to remember this. All right, I don't know what it was. I think it was Poltergeist. Was it Poltergeist where was it the little girl looked into the TV and said they're here? I don't remember. But you remember there was that line somewhere in a movie. They're here. They're here, folks. What? It was?
Yep, you're right.
Okay. Do they hear you say I'm right?
Yep. On the record.
I could probably just end the show right there being right. Poltergeist, they're here. Thank you. That being said, you paid for their schooling. You sent them to school. You got them dressed, the American people, the village that raised these illegals. You got them dressed in the morning. You bought them breakfast because God knows we got to feed the kids breakfast at school. You bought them lunch. You bought them textbooks. You paid for their health care. You got their immunizations. You paid for them. You have an investment like you would not believe in these people. Billions, not millions. They're here. They are here. They are in your school. They are in your grocery store. They are in the businesses that you shop at. They're here. They are your customers that spend money in your business. They are here. See, I don't want anybody to accuse me in any way of being liberal, soft-hearted on this issue in any way. Okay? But, there is the staying, an extended stay. You go on vacation, you just like it so much you ask to stay 2 more days. Folks, they stayed 18. They stayed 20 years. They stayed 30. They're here. A pathway was created when they got here through your tax money. So every time you yell at President Donald Trump and say that from 10 to 12 years, a pathway could be out there, all I'm asking is please remember what was put on this man's desk. A disaster, an immigration disaster. George W. Bush couldn't do nothing with it. You remember the night, it's 10 o'clock, I gotta go, but you remember the night that George W. Bush came on TV and laid out the complete pathway to cleaning up the immigration program in this country. And you were outraged. Do you realize if that you were outraged that day, and I know it's running late, but stay with me. If you were outraged that day when George W. Bush came on TV, I think it was in 2013, I forget when it was. If you were outraged that day when George W. Bush came on TV and gave all the American people his plan for fixing immigration in this country, do you realize he left? Obama's there 8 years. So what has it been? Another 10 years? They're here. Let's work with our President of the United States, but let's make sure it's corrected once and for all. That's what we got to remember. Once and for all, not like 1986. I'll be back. Oh, it's today Thursday? So that means tomorrow we're going to be in Blue Ridge. We're going to be at Circuit World of Blue Ridge tomorrow morning. We got to Ask the Doc, Pet of the Week, All-Star Panel. I can't wait to get there. I'll see you in the morning, 8 a.m., FYNTV.com. Take us out of here.